Hello, it's Acadia Fry, and my presentation is on a Mendelian inheritance and genetic variation. Introduction. These traits are passed down from parents to children through genes. Some traits follow clear inheritance patterns, while other traits can be more complex and influenced by multiple genes or mutations. This presentation focuses on Mendelian inheritance and genetic variation. The focus of my presentation is the traits are passed down by parents. Gregor Mendel discovered that traits are inherited in predictable patterns by using dominant and recessive alleles. The diagram shown shows how traits are passed down. Each parent gives one allele and the combination decides the offspring's traits. The ratio of this pattern is 9:3:3:1. As shown in this diagram, the top is the parent and the side is the other parent, and the boxes are the outcomes. And this is the key right here on the right. Genetic variation and mutation. Differences in DNA are caused by mutations. Genetic variation is the difference in DNA between individuals. These differences are often caused by mutations in the DNA, which creates changes in traits' appearance. The diagram shows a mutation, which is a change in DNA. The slight changes in DNA can affect how genes function and cause different traits or diseases. This is a normal DNA strand, and this is a DNA strand with a mutation. In this study, researchers studied 135 families with a history of inherited intellectual disability, focusing on X-linked inherited patterns. Males have only one X chromosome. Any gene on that chromosome will be expressed. Unlike females, they do not have a backup X chromosome. Fathers give their sons a Y chromosome, so the son will not inherit the X-linked disorder from their father. They will give their daughters an X chromosome, so the daughters have a possibility of inheriting the disorder. The data shows the distributions and characteristics of genetic variants across family and relationships, inheritance, and consequence of the variants. This is a family diagram. This diagram shows how a trait is passed through a family. Squares are represented as males, and the females are also represented by the circles. The shaded shapes are the individuals affected by the disorder. In this pedigree chart, each of the parents have 50% chance of passing down the disorder to their offspring. Methods and results. Scientists analyzed DNA sequences from these families to decide mutations and track how they were passed down from one generation to the next. The article showed that many families show X-linked patterns. More males were affected since they only have one X chromosome. But not all families follow Mendelian ratios and were unexpected cases. No clear pattern. These findings suggest that the presence of more complex genetic mutations. The discovery is that while Mendelian inheritance explains many traits, human genetics are more complex due to mutations and genetic variation. This discovery is important because it explains genetic diseases, helps with diagnosis, and shows human diversity. The research that was done helps scientists understand why some diseases run in families while why others appear unexpectedly. In conclusion, Mendelian genetics provides a foundation, but mutations and genetic variation show that inheritance is more complex in real life. For my discussion questions, I have: why do you think that some traits follow Mendelian inheritance while others do not? How can understanding genetic variation improve diagnosis or treatment of inherited disease? Why do you believe scientists cannot always accurately predict who will get a genetic disease? And how does understanding the concept of genetic variation affect evolution? Thank you.